Hey guys, it's Celia Cortes with Seva6. I've had a few people ask me about the data breach lately. If you're not aware of it, we had another data breach that's going to impact many people. 145 million people have had their information compromised as a result of Equifax having a data breach. And I've had people ask me, well, what do I do about this? How do I know if I'm one of the 145 million? That's half of all Americans. So I put some links in this video. The very first thing we all need to do is go on to Equifax's page and determine if in fact you were impacted. You can go on, click the link. It'll say, am I impacted? You put in your last name and the last 6 digits of your social security number. And in doing that, you will be able to know whether you were impacted or you were not impacted. If you were, I've included some additional links for you guys to click on to go ahead and freeze your credit. I've been asked a lot of questions whether freezing is better than locking or locking is more secure. You don't want to lock your credit. You want to freeze it if you were one of the 145 million that were impacted. That, unfortunately, is a pain process. It's an easy process, but it's a pain if you go to get credit. So if you want to go buy a new car, for example, you've got to make sure you unfreeze your credit before you go. Otherwise, they can't run it. If you go to whatever store you shop at and you go to Macy's and they offer you a credit card on the spot, you can no longer get that when your credit is frozen. So keep that in mind, but it is really important to freeze your credit if in fact you were one of the 145 million. Because Equifax, they're so kind. They're offering us 1 year of free credit monitoring. However, this breach, your name is compromised, your date of birth, your driver's licenses, your addresses that you've lived any time in your life. All of that is compromised for the rest of your life, not just for 1 year. So Equifax is so graciously offering us a whopping 1 year of credit monitoring. That's not sufficient. So you've got to take it into your own hands to be able to take care of your credit and your bills to make sure that you don't get hacked. So check out those links. I want to put out there that this breach happened in July of this year. And it wasn't until September of this year that Equifax came out and told the general public. So that should make you say, how's that possible? I don't know the numbers on how many people have already been impacted. I don't know how many people have suffered identity theft already. Hey, Derek. Hi, Avi. Derek, I don't know what you're working on nowadays, but this may impact you guys. But Equifax did not do a good job in making sure that the American public knew about this immediately. And they claimed that they couldn't report the breach to the general public because they were investigating. They had to have more information. So several months passed before we knew about it. So don't take a chance. Go on, determine if you were impacted with the very first link that I've posted. If you are impacted, then follow the other 3 links. One thing I want you to know is that depending on the state that you live in, you may have to pay a fee. So I was impacted. I went on and checked. I was impacted. I had to pay a $3 fee here in Georgia for Trans Union and for Experian. Equifax so graciously is doing it for free. And Innovis is another smaller credit monitoring agency. They're also doing it for free. But go on and pay the fee because the thousands of dollars it might cost you and the headache and heartache and frustration it's going to cost you is worth the fee. But don't freeze your credit yet if you don't know that you're impacted. Now, also keep in mind that when they initially reported this, they reported that 143 million Americans were impacted. And since the initial report, it has gone up to 145 million people have been impacted by this data breach. So you never know. You never know if that number is going to keep climbing. We don't know if they're telling us the full story. We do know that a bunch of their executives managed to sell off several $1 million in stock before they announced it to the general public. So what's that tell us? That makes me wonder. But anyway, the links are there. Hey, Terry, thanks for watching. The links are there. Please share this with your family and your friends. It's not something to play with. They can go open a credit account. They can buy a house in your name. They can get a car in your name. They can claim your children as dependents on their taxes that are looking like your taxes. So a breach like this is not like Target. It's not like what happened with Home Depot. That's just credit card stuff. So what? You close those accounts out and no one's impacted. This is information you carry with you the rest of your life. Stuff that you can't change. Sure, you can change your name legally if you want to go through the process, but your date of birth is the same and your social is the same, and they have access to all that stuff. So click the link, the very first one I listed, find out if you have in fact been compromised, and if you have, go to the 3 major credit agencies. I did mine online, and I went ahead and called also all of them to see how long it would take me so I could report it to you guys. And it was a minimum 45-minute wait time. So it was easier just to hop online through those links that I've posted and make sure you freeze your credit. And the only thing is that if you decide to go get a loan or go buy a car or go apply for a mortgage, that you call or you get online and unfreeze your credit before you do that. Otherwise, creditors will not be able to see your credit. So let me know if you have any questions. One more fun fact I want to leave you with. Did you know that Homeland Security informed Equifax in March that there was a problem with their software and that they had to fix it and that they didn't fix it and then they got hacked? So keep that in mind. We got to protect ourselves, guys. We can't rely on our government to do it. We can't rely on these corporations to do it. We've got to protect ourselves. Our information's out there. Our data's out there. Everything that we know, everything that we do is out there. That's crazy, right, Terry? So Homeland Security told them in March. They did nothing about it. They got breached in July. All of our information was compromised. 145 million Americans compromised, just like that. And then they didn't tell us until September. And then, of course, the media didn't really pick it up until October. So because I got asked about it so many times, I wanted to make sure I hopped on here and shared it with you guys. All the links are there. Please share it with your friends and family. And if you have any questions, just post it in the comments, and I'd be happy to help you. All right, guys, take care. Be safe out there, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.